There's this idea that life begins at 40, or that your 20s are the best years of your life. But there's another idea, and I think it's the better one, which is that life actually begins when you hit rock bottom, that this is the only time in your life where everything is going wrong. And so it seems that your only option is to change everything. It's the difference between thinking your cup is half empty or your cup is half full. One implies hopelessness, the other hope. It's all about how you choose to see it. My rock bottom came when I was almost 30 and out of work for 9 months after being made redundant from my job in sales. I was overweight, unhappy in my relationship, and feeling generally pretty hopeless about the future. But what turned things around for me was changing how I viewed what had happened. Rather than seeing it as the end of something, I saw it as a new beginning. I took control of my health, changed my diet, started running again, and eventually lost 3 stone in weight. I ended my long-term relationship and began seeing a therapist to understand why I kept getting attracted to the same kind of toxic partners. And I set myself the goal of traveling the world, to experience new cultures and meet new people. That period in my life became known as the happiest I've ever been. I started this YouTube channel and wrote 2 books, both of which became international bestsellers. I found a business partner with whom I've now co-authored 17 more books. Together we've sold over 3 million copies, and I've earned multiple 7-figure sums in royalties, and I've been able to use my platform to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for charity. So here are 4 lessons I learned from hitting rock bottom, and how they helped me create a life I love. Lesson No. 1 is to take full responsibility for where you are in life. In his book The Obstacle is the Way, Ryan Holiday writes, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every obstacle, every challenge, every difficulty, every setback, every injury, every failure, every disappointment, every heartache all become the impetus for our growth, our progress, our success. We have a tendency to blame others or make excuses for why we can't achieve our goals or dreams. But the truth is that every situation, person, or circumstance we encounter is simply a reflection of ourselves. Our outer world is merely an extension of our inner world. So rather than blaming others, ask yourself, what role did I play in creating this situation? Then take full responsibility for it and decide what you're going to do next. Take full responsibility for your life. It's the only way to create lasting change. Lesson 2 is to change your environment. When you're stuck in a rut, it can be hard to see a way out. You feel surrounded by the same old problems and the same old people who just don't understand what you're going through. Changing your environment can be a powerful way to break free. When I was at rock bottom, I did just this. I decided to move out of my comfort zone and into a new place where I knew no one. I also got rid of anything in my life that reminded me of my ex. This might mean decluttering your home, changing up your workspace, or even just taking a walk in a new part of town. By changing up your surroundings, you'll be able to see things from a fresh perspective, and that will help you come up with new solutions to old problems. I remember how liberating it felt when I moved out of the family home and into my own place. I could decorate it how I wanted to. I could invite whoever I wanted over, and I didn't have to answer to anyone but myself. It was the first time I really felt like an adult. Of course, there were challenges, like having to pay all the bills myself. But it was worth it, because it gave me the freedom to design my life the way I wanted it. Lesson 3 is to focus on what you can control. When you're at rock bottom, it's easy to feel like nothing is working in your favor. It's important to remember that not everything is within your control. There are a lot of things that happen in life that are completely outside of our control, such as the death of a loved one, the economy, or the weather. But even when bad things happen, there's always something we can control. For example, how we choose to respond to difficult situations, or how much time we spend worrying about the things we can't change. The Serenity Prayer says, "Grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." This is a great reminder that while we can't change the world around us, we can change ourselves. So focus on the things you can control and let go of the things you can't. By doing this, you'll be able to reduce your stress levels and create a more positive outlook on life. And that's when the magic happens. As the philosopher Epicurus said, we cannot control the gods, fortune, or the body, but only the work of the mind. And lesson 4 is to keep moving forward. When you're at rock bottom, it can feel like there's nowhere else to go but up. And while it's true that things can't get much worse, it can still be difficult to take that first step forward. But it's important to remember that even small steps are still progress. If you're feeling stuck, try setting small goals for yourself that you can easily achieve. For example, if you're struggling to find a job, aim to send out one job application per day. Or if you're trying to improve your fitness, start by just going for a 10-minute run once a week. By setting and achieving small goals, you'll build up momentum and motivation to tackle bigger challenges. Just remember to be patient with yourself and celebrate your successes along the way. It's important to acknowledge and celebrate every win, no matter how small it seems. That way you'll stay motivated and focused on your goals. I used to beat myself up for not doing enough or for not being further along in my journey. But I've learned that self-compassion is key to creating lasting change. By celebrating my wins, no matter how small they seem, I'm able to stay motivated and focused on my goals. Remember that every journey starts with a single step, and that even the biggest accomplishments are made up of countless small actions. Keep moving forward, and you'll eventually reach your destination. In conclusion, hitting rock bottom can be a painful and humbling experience, but it doesn't have to be the end of your story. Instead, I encourage you to see it as a chance for a fresh start, an opportunity to design a life you truly love. It's not easy, but it's definitely worth it. By taking full responsibility for your life, changing your environment, focusing on what you can control, and keeping moving forward, you'll be able to create the life you're after. Remember that you're not alone, and that there's always light at the end of the tunnel, so don't give up. Keep going, and never lose sight of your goals. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.